another video. Okay, people, y'all starting to wake me up now and get me rolling again. Y'all don't want to get me rolling again now. Now, I want to respond to Jeffrey Kaufman. Jeffrey Kaufman, he responded to the video I just uploaded an hour or so ago, in which I said that who's the favorite to win the Montreal that's going on right now, Federer or the Djokovic? And of course, top favorite don't mean you're gonna. It don't necessarily guarantee you're going to win it, but just who's the favorite? And I answered that I think the Djokovic, based on the reasons I gave, that the Djokovic is the favorite. So Jeffrey Kaufman, he came back, and I think Jeffrey Kaufman is a Nadal fan, and he said, Jeffrey Kaufman said, I wouldn't be surprised if neither of them won the Montreal. Now that's funny. So I decided, usually in videos, I haven't done this tournament yet, but usually in tennis, in every tournament, in every major, I always address if the favorite could get upset and what the chances of that happening. So we got the two top favorites, Nadal and Nadal and Federer. Nadal and the Djokovic. Federer's not even playing the thing. Nadal and the Djokovic, the two top favorite. I'm putting the Djokovic as number one, Nadal number two. So let's deal with what Jeffrey Kaufman has entertained. And let me give a shout out to him because, hey, people, that may be the most intelligent statement I've heard today. I know some people will be saying that's not an intelligent statement. The Djokovic, either the Djokovic or Nadal is going to win the Montreal. Well, not necessarily. No, Jeffrey Kaufman is absolutely right to entertain it. I don't know if he'll be right at the end of the day, but it's definitely not a stupid statement. And so a shout out to Jeffrey Kaufman again. Now, people, let me address something else while we talking about this whole possibility that neither Nadal or the Djokovic will win the Montreal. Now, people, let me say this here. If somebody came up to me, let's just say I heard somebody came up to me and say, Magic Man, this person offered me 25 to 1 odds that they asked me, Magic Man, would I be willing to take another player besides Nadal or the Djokovic to win the Montreal? And they said that if I would take a Isner or a Kevin Anderson or one of the new generation of players, a Zverev, a Chung, Kyrgios, anybody else, I don't know if Kyrgios is even playing, but I guess he is. But whoever, they said they would give me 25 to 1 odds, meaning if I betted $100. If I betted $100, Magic Man, and if the Djokovic or Nadal get upset in the Montreal and they don't win it, I will win $2,500. So Magic Man, should I bet the $100? Okay, I don't know if I tell them to bet 100. Maybe I tell them to bet 10 and win 250. But you know what, man? I tell the person, I say, listen here, Nadal or the Djokovic probably win it, but what Jeffrey Kaufman just brought up is not stupid. You know what? There is a possibility both of these guys could get upset. So I would tell them, I say, now listen, don't be mad at me now. The Djokovic or Nadal may win it, but go ahead and take the risk. I say, you may not want to put up 100, but put up 10, and maybe you will get the 250, okay? So I just want to bring that up, people, that what Jeffrey Kaufman said is not crazy and stupid. Now, let me just say something else here, is that, people, you guys may have noticed something in the last few months. People, I haven't been as confident, not even the last few months, the last month or so, I haven't been as confident about predicting tennis as I was like many months ago, because the narrative has changed. People, I told y'all in another video that I'm pretty confident about predicting tennis. I had like a 80% for about, after I started my channel last July. Yeah, last July. People up to like, until Federer lost against Goffin in the ATP finale, people, I had almost a 90% prediction rating. That has obviously dropped way off because people, the hardest thing for me to predict, it's not so much a match, it's to predict when the narrative is going to change. And y'all saw in the Wimbledon, man, I got that wrong as far as results. The analysis was good, but the prediction was terrible because the narrative changed, man. I mean, the Djokovic came back quick, and so, and Federer went out against Kevin Anderson. So right now, I'm sort of, my confidence is a little shaky with predicting tennis. However, what I got to do now, instead of trying to predict the results, I got to predict first, will the narrative change? And then then it's easy. You see, if I can predict if the narrative is going to change, then it's easier for me to predict who's going to win or lose. So you might say, okay, Magic Man, why are you telling us that? We got what you're saying about the narrative of tennis has changed. A lot of experts has got things wrong. Tennis is turned upside down. Federer losing to Wimbledon, losing against Kevin Anderson, the Djokovic back on the top again. So why are you telling us that about how you predict tennis and how the narrative is shaky right now? I think that's what I'm saying, people. See, once the narrative gets solidified, like for the last 2 years, tennis was easy to predict. Federer and Nadal was on top of the world. It was solidified, and that was easy for me. It was easy to predict that Federer and Nadal was going to win, but also it was easy to predict who was going to lose against them. So it was easy for me to predict that Isner was not going to win a major because he can't beat Federer, a top Federer, and a top Nadal. Okay, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. But now here's what's unique though, people. The narrative. See, the reason why what Jeffrey Kaufman said is not stupid at all, people, I'm not even sure if the narrative is not solidified. So, people, even the stuff like the Djokovic is back, the resurgence, the Djokovic is back. Even I made a video saying I think the Djokovic can sustain the level for at least a year. But, people, that narrative is not, that's shaky. I don't know if the Djokovic is going to win the U.S. Open. Nadal, #1, that's a strong narrative. But that's shaky. I'm not sure about Nadal. Can he beat Djokovic? And then we got Federer. I mean, Federer right now looks vulnerable, very vulnerable. But could Federer be under the radar, come back and win the U.S. Open? So the narrative is shaky. It's not a solidified narrative. So it's hard for even the tennis prophet to be on top of his game when the narrative is shaky. Now, I can do analysis like I'm doing now. That's easy. I'm on top of the analysis, but the prediction is shaky. Okay, people? And so this comes back to the title of the thing. Could the Djokovic and Nadal both get upset in the Montreal or both get upset in the Cincinnati? And I have thought about this, that could Federer, Nadal, and the Djokovic get upset in the U.S. Open? And then somebody like a Kevin Anderson or Isner or somebody like a Zverev or somebody like Kyrgios win the U.S. Open? Of course that could happen. And it could really happen when the narrative is shaky right now. But now, on the other hand, even though the narrative is shaky, either Federer, Nadal, or the Djokovic could continue to dominate tennis. Okay, people, tennis preacher. And I forgot about Andy Murray. Well, Andy Murray, he looked like he was good, but he pulled out because of fatigue. But could Andy Murray put it together again? See how the narrative is going this way, that way, and this way? All right, people, tennis preacher. Tennis prophet. But back to the question, could the Djokovic and Nadal get upset in the Montreal? Of course they could. But I wouldn't bet any money on it, though. I wouldn't. Okay? Tennis preacher, prophet, psychic, signing off. Have a good one.